please introduce yourself? What you? Yeah,
About my experience, I have completed MBA in finance. Hello?
yeah, I'm able to hear you.
Ye- Yes, yes, sir. So, about my about my education, I have done MBA in finance, and about my total experience, I have around 6 years of experience in the finance domain, and the relevant, I have around 3 years of SAP FICO experience. I have worked on 3 to 4 multiple projects and one on the company code rollout. And about my strong area, I'm much confident in the AP sides, AR sides, and yes, knowledge about the assets also, knowledge about the CO also. And overall, all the area I have resolved the issues, uh, except
Mhm.
more than in the assets, but yeah, done the year-end activity also.
So basically, you were part of the AMS support projects only, or you have done some rollout also?
Yes, sir. One company code rollout I have done with my senior. On that particular time, I have done the some 3, 4 basic activity like company code creations and assignment, like extended GL from OBY2 from one company code to another company code, like controlling a version maintenance, posting periods, and all. So these are the basic activity I have done with my senior.
So was it like a global template rollout that you have done?
No, no, sir. It's just like a company code role where would be the chart of account would be the same of that company. Only the company code is to be changed.
So you were having the existing setup where you were having some company codes already running onto that system, and then there might be some new company code that has come up. So you can just kind of an onboarded that company code onto your existing SAP platform, is it?
SAP platform with the same chart of account.
Okay, but then you mentioned that you have taken some of the activities like company code creation and all that.
Yes, sir. These are the activity I have done. Yes, sir. These are the activity I have done with the company code.
So only the creation of a company code and assignment to the existing fiscal year variant, posting period, field status and all, or you have kind of anything
Yes, sir.
created
These
from
are
the
the basic
scratch.
activity, and apart from that, the GL extension. Yes, not on the space, sir. These are the basic activity like company code creation and assignment with the chart of accounts and all. Second, GL extended. Third one would be the periods are
What
maintained,
GLs you have?
and
What
also
what what type of GLs you have extended?
all the GS, sir. What are the GS? In my company code is suppose 1000, and the different company code is like a 2000. So all over the GS from 1000 to copy to all the
How
from
did you
1000 to 2000.
how did you copy that?
OBY2 is the T code.
And what have you mentioned in that transaction OBY2? What
In
it does
OBY2, sir,
basically?
I'm from company code 1 in the in the field of 2 company code 2000, and I executed that.
But then, are you saying that the all the data of the old company code you can just lifted and shifted to the new company code with all the
Yes, sir.
currencies, all
No,
the
no, not
rest of the
correct. No, no,
parameters,
sir.
everything?
No, 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 sir.
Mhm.
Not talking about the currency and all. I just told you the GL extensions like the banking GL which I have maintained in FS 000 for 1000 company code. So same would be copied
Mm.
in for the 2000. So I'm talking about the GL masters from
Yeah, that's what I'm
1000 to
saying. So
2000.
GL
That's it.
master data. So
Yes.
how many segments are there for GL master data? Do
So
you know?
segments. Are you talking about the master when I creations when I do the creation of GL master? So are you talking about that
Yeah.
segments?
Yes.
Yes, yes. So in that particular fields, control data, create bank and interest fields, and also one fields are also there. So on that particular time, we have to maintain what are the groupings. I like if suppose a P&L GL, so we have to select on that particular type P&L or primary or secondary. Then line item, then depends open items. Then if it is a reconciliation or it's bank GL, so depends field listed as
Okay, so
C001, C067.
okay, but what are those two
Yes.
main important segments where we maintain this GL master data?
Pardon, please. Repeat once.
So
What are
usually
the?
there are two segments, right, for which the data is created for GL account. One
Yes, sir.
is your company code segment and another is your chart of account segment, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you know that?
Yes, sir. Definitely on the on the company code segment, we have to maintain the GL. But before that, we have to maintain the account groups and all from the OBD4.
Okay, and what fields do we maintain at the chart of account segment, and what fields we maintain at the company code segment? I mean, what fields of the GL master refer the chart of account segment, and what are the things that we maintain at the company code level for any GL account?
Sir, uh, if when I'm creating with the company code segments or the fields are there, create bank interest, control data and all. But uh, uh, mm, not recognizing currently, sir, at the chart of account level.
Okay, can I have a GL account created or the data for the GL account created only in company code segment or only in chart of account segment, or I need to have the data in both the segments?
Sorry, sir, not get your questions.
Okay, so let's say that if I have a one account expense account, right? You said that you
Yes, sir.
create the account groups and all that. So let's say I've created an account group called an expense account and I've created one GL
Mhm.
account there. So let's
Yes,
say
sir.
the GL account number is a 100 200,
Yes, sir.
right? So can I
Yes.
use the same GL account in the multiple company codes?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, you can use the different multiple code. You can use the same account number. But if the chart account would be, if the company code is the same, so that is not possible. The system is not allowed to create. If suppose I can already create 1000 company code for 10,000 GL number. So again for 1000, I can't create the 10,000 GL number.
But the 10,000 number can be used in another company code.
Yeah, so definitely for the different company code, I can use, I can make the company, the chart, oh, sorry, GL.
And can I have the same GL account, expense account, uh, to be used as, let's say, a different, let's say I want to use that account as a salary account in a different company code, but in one company code, I want to use that as an expense account. Can it be possible?
You mean to say for different account, the GL is salary? Okay, the category is totally different, the name is different, but and account and the company code is different. Are you saying that?
Yeah. No. So what I'm saying is that, let's say I have the expense account 100 200 created, right? Can I
Yes, sir.
use the same GL account 100 200, but as a salary? So let's say in
For
one
different
company
company
code,
code.
can I, yes, can I use for 1000 this 100 200 as a stationary expenses and same 100 200 as a salary account, employee salary in 2000
Mhm.
company code? Can I do that?
Sir, I have not seen these type of recognize the issue, but yeah, definitely. I have to check for that particular sir for different company code. Is I think so. If the company code is different, so I can use the doesn't matter what are the text and what are the GL category is there. But yeah, I'm not sure for that. I need to check for the different company code, the different text GLs and with the same number are possible or not. I need to check that,
Okay.
sir.
let's say if I have the 100, 200 as an expense account,
Mm-hmm.
as a P&L account in one company code 1000, can I use the
Hmm.
same account as a balance sheet account in different company code?
Mm. So these, I think both are the questions are the same. There is the company code is the different and the GL. Are you saying is the same number? So, sir, not
Yeah.
sure about that. Need to check that.
Okay. So basically, the reason why I've asked you this question first about the segment is that we
Yes.
always have the chart of account segment and the company code segment. There are
Okay.
some
Okay.
data which is there which we maintain at the chart of account level. The
Okay.
data that we maintain at the chart of account level remains same across all company codes for which we assign that same chart of account. So let's say if I have a chart of account, let's assume INT
Okay.
or
Okay. Okay. Okay.
OPER. And if
Yes.
I
Yes. Yes.
assign that OPER chart of account as a
Mm-hmm.
for two company codes, 1000
2000 company
and
code.
2000,
Yes, sir. Got
then
it, sir.
the data at the chart of account level will remain same. Now, what is the
Yes.
data that
Yes.
we maintain at chart of account level? Is the GL
Yes.
account number, GL account description, and whether
All
the
would be the
GL is a
same.
P&L or balance sheet. So I
Mm-hmm.
cannot have the one GL as an expense in one company
Yes.
code
Yes. Yes.
as an income or salary in another company code.
Got
Similar
it. Got
way,
it,
if
sir.
my GL I have already
Mm-hmm.
mentioned as a P&L,
Mm-hmm.
it has to
Yes, sir.
remain as a P&L for
In
all
for
the
the different
company
company
codes.
code. Got it, sir.
Okay.
As I just imagine the picture because the hierarchy level is like chart of account is the above part. After that, what are the company codes are making for the for the same chart of account, the all GL would be the same because the chart of account is for the top of the line.
Do you know what is the return earning accounts
Yes, sir. Retain as an account basically the bridge between of the P&L and the balance sheet account.
and why do you need that return earning account?
Because sir, what are the vendor reconciliation bills? When I do the when I do the any vendor type of the posting, so automatic the reconciliation account would be heated, and after when I uh, assign my reconciliation account to my vendor account, so the all the balances would be carry forward to my balance sheet account. So when I prepared my balance sheet, so on that particular time, if suppose I have 1,000 vendor, so it is not possible out in 1,000 vendor I would be shown in the balance sheet. So the one retained earning account is shown all of the vendor balances on that particular time.
I
So these are
no.
the
Are you referring reconciliation account or return earning account? Or you are confused? I'm asking that do you know what is a retained earning account? Do you know that the return earning account is a prerequisite step in order to have the GL master data creation?
okay. So retained earning account basically the used for the carry forward for my balance from P&L to balance sheets.
Why do we need that? Why it is only for the P&L account it is needed and not for balance sheet? Or it is required for both?
Sir, as I remember, when I do the down payment activity, so on that particular time, with the special GL, I have to assign with the retained earning account. So
No,
on that
you don't assign any
criteria,
return earning account. You don't assign any return earning account with special bill indicator. Why do you need to have a return earning account assigned with the special bill indicator?
on the since in the FDKP setting, I
Where,
have
where, where, where do you maintain return earning account in jail master data?
in GL master data, like suppose on no, that would be the reconciliation account. If suppose I am uh, making any particular GA, so on that particular
Hmm.
time, if suppose I click on the vendor side, so on that particular type, the reconciliation account would be used.
No, but I'm not asking you about the reconciliation account. I'm asking specifically for the return earning account.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what is the reconciliation accounts and how
So
many types of
reconciliation.
reconciliation accounts are there?
Um, the reconciliation account is like told you in that what are the vendors when I do the vendor masters on that particular time, I have to assign the reconciliation account for that particular vendor. For whatever the
Where
vendor in
where
my
where
account
do you assign that? Where do you
in
assign that?
the in vendor master, so
Okay,
in the
let's say
vendor.
I have a one vendor. Okay,
Yes.
let's say ABC Limited. Okay,
Hmm.
now that ABC Limited is supplying to my three company codes.
Okay.
Okay, can I have the different reconciliation account for the same vendor?
No idea, sir. Mm, not seeing
Okay,
these yet.
sorry.
Not say not have not chance to the like
So the
seeing these
reason why I'm
cases.
asking, no, the reason why I'm asking you
Yes, sir.
is you mentioned that you have done the rollout, right?
Yes, sir.
So you at least know. Uh, I mean, I'm assuming that at least then in that case you
Mhm.
must have seen the data for two company codes, more than one company code, I would say, right?
Yes, sir.
So did you
Yes, yes.
actually go ahead and try to check that can I have these details, or has it not been you must have done already completed your training for this also, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
So did you manage to check during your training that what data I can have different for a different company code or not? Okay, no issues. Now, is the reconciliation account would be the balance sheet account or P&L account?
So reconciliation account would be a P&L account, but bit, uh, it is a bridge between basically the sorry, basically it's the carry forward my balances from P&L account to balance sheet. So it is a P&L account.
But what balances it carry forwards from P&L to balance sheet?
Sir,
When you say that it carry forwards the balances, how does this balances gets carry forward and why it requires the balances to get carry forward from P&L to balance sheet?
because in my company
Reconciliation.
more than 100,
Hmm.
100 vendors are there, so it is not possible
But
when
but
I
but
uh,
sorry, but Shubham,
yes, sir.
are your vendors your GL accounts?
Yes, sir.
Do you create a vendor as a GL account in the system?
No, no, vendor is totally different. It's the master.
Sorry, what that is called in the SAP? Your vendors and customer. What do we call it? But if your vendors are not GL account, then what you
Mhm.
are saying that you need to have the bridge to have the balances transfer.
So because in the year ending, in the year financial year ending, I have to check what are the my debtors and what are my creditors. So for that particular time, for that my balance sheet, I have to need to reconcile of my balances. So for that time,
Reconcile
we
with
have
what? Reconcile with what?
reconcile in the sense what are it means when I prepared my financial statements or when I check my trial balance on that particular site in the whole year, what are my debtors amount and what are my creditor amounts. So for that
Okay, so
particular,
but then your debtors and creditors come only on balance sheet, right? What is the
yes, sir.
P&L doing here?
So I told you, na, sir, on that particular GL, it is used for P&L to balance sheet carry forwarded. Automatically,
No,
system would be the
no, no, no. Doesn't work like that. Sorry. Basically, your reconciliation accounts are your balance sheet accounts. We don't create anything P&L. for reconciliation accounts. Reconciliation account itself means that this is need to
Mhm.
go to balance sheet, but it these are not directly going from any GL account. So when you say you need a bridge, you
Yes,
actually
yes.
don't need a bridge from P&L to balance sheet. Your vendors, the reconciliation accounts can be for your vendors, customers, or assets. That's it.
Yes,
Now
sir,
the thing
correct.
is
That.
that whenever you have the vendors, customers, and assets, you do not
Mhm.
have the GL accounts for them. You create a separate master data for them. Now, how do you want this master data, the transactions that you're posting against that master data, to actually gets reflected in your balance sheet is where this reconciliation account helps. Because your vendors and customer accounts are called as a sub-ledger account. Now, I
Subledger.
may have the hundreds and thousands of
Mhm.
vendors, as you rightly said, but
Yes, sir.
I do not have to reconcile anything. I have all, I cannot show all the 1,000 or 1 lakh vendor or customer balances on balance sheet. I
Mhm.
can have the reconciliation account maintained in the vendor and customer master data through which
Yes, sir.
whenever
Yes,
I
sir.
do the posting to the sub ledger, the entry automatically gets posted to
Total
reconciliation
count.
account.
Yes,
Can
sir.
I have
Because when
only one reconciliation account for vendors or can I have the multiple reconciliation accounts also in the same company code? So let's say in the same company code, I have let's say
no, sir,
1,000
the
vendors.
one if the company code account is hello.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm saying that if I have the 1,000 vendors in let's say
Mm.
1,000 company code, okay. So all those
Yes, yes.
1,000
1,000
vendors
vendors.
should have use
Mm.
or should have only one recon account, or I can have the multiple reconciliation accounts also.
Okay.
Can I or I
Okay, sir.
can't? So Shubham, can I have the multiple recon accounts for a vendor,
No, sir.
or I can't?
No, sir. No, no, sir. No need for the multiple reconciliation account. Only the when I created of the GL master, only we have to just choose it is a vendors or customers or assets. So
No, no.
automatically the six.
I'm saying that you have let's say one reconciliation account created, right, for your vendor,
So
only for vendors. Let's say payable account. Are you getting my question?
yes,
So can I have the multiple reconciliation accounts for
sir.
vendor, multiple reconciliation accounts for customer?
Um, Not sure, but I don't think so. There would be a multiple.
Yeah, there are possibilities to have the multiple. Many
But sir, if
companies, when
there,
what?
but sir, if these are the possibilities, so what are the balance sheet? How will show that particular my balance sheet if I
I can
maintain
have the
multiple?
which financial standard tells you that you can have only single debtor or creditor account.
No,
Do you
that is to
know
be fine,
that
but as the instant,
as per the
yes, sir.
IFRS or as per the
Hmm.
multiple international reporting standards, it is a
Yes, sir.
mandatory to have reconciliation accounts for debtors or creditors to be shown in the balance sheet. Sometimes as
Okay.
per whether the balances or the whether those vendors are a
Mhm.
domestic or are a foreign, or sometimes also it is a mandatory in some of the cases where there is a requirement from the client that they want this to be shown as per their what you can say the open items are due. So if there are the open items for the vendors which are due, yeah, from 0 to 30 days, it should be shown in one line with the one account. For 60 to 90, it should have in some different account. For 90 onwards, it should have in a different account. So there are possibilities to have the requirements from the client, from the statutory requirements, from the government. to have the
Mhm.
multiple, or rather to have this differentiation of the debtors and creditors at the balance sheet level.
Okay, okay, okay. Got it, sir. Because whatever I have read in my educations related to a finance and in the SAP also, I always think about the financial the balance sheet or trial balance in my mind. So that's why. But thank you so much, sir. If it is a possibilities are there.
Okay, have you worked on the accounts payable?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so do you know the entire procure to pay cycle?
Yes, sir.
Can you just explain that to me with the accounting entries?
The accounting entry is like, sir, first the purchase order, there is no accounting entry. The created would be from ME21N. After that, the GR is the T code for the used is MIGO. The accounting entry would be headed inventory account debit to GRIR. After that, MIRO, um, GRIR account debit to vendor, and then uh, payment would be happened for vendor. So uh, vendor account debit to bank. So these are the accounting entries are in.
Have you worked on the automatic payment program?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what is the accounting entry that gets generated as a part of automatic payment program?
Sir, when I run F110, so on that particular time,
Hmm.
if the uh, uh, all the parameters are settled, and so on that particular time, the entry would be happen vendor account debit to bank.
Does it directly go to bank account, or is there any clearing account where the entry gets posted?
Uh, Clearing account, no, sir. The clearing account, the sub outgoing account would be in the picture, but not any clearing account would be there.
Okay, so the sub account, what you just said,
Sub
where
account
do
in the
you
sense
maintain that
outgoing. Sub
outgoing
account
payment
in the
account?
say outgoing payment account in the vendor
Where,
case.
where, where do you maintain that outgoing payment account?
So in the GL master, we have to maintain like three
No,
accounts: main accounts, incoming accounts, and
no,
outgoing accounts.
no, no. That is a master data that you are creating in the GL master, right? I'm asking
Yes, sir.
you for the
Mhm.
APP, which configuration where you maintain this GL account? Because you said that once you run the F110, once you click
Okay.
after the proposal, if you click on the payment, it should automatically post that entry, right? What you just mentioned.
Yes. Yes, sir.
So how does system know which account to be posted for
Sir, in the
APP?
house bank configurations, we have to maintain these accounts.
Which account
All
you
the all
maintain
the
in the house bank
all
configurations?
Sir, all the three accounts would be maintained in the house bank registrations and in the vendor master data.
If you
The
create,
particular
if you create, if you create a house bank, if you are configuring the house bank, can you have, can you maintain the multiple GL accounts at the house bank configuration?
Sir, in the standard form, only the three the GLs are the maintained incoming, outgoing, and
Where do
maintained.
you maintain that? Can you tell me the transaction code? Where do you maintain that?
Sir, not remember the transaction code, but yes, the house bank configurations on that the three
How do
first we
what you
have
configure? What you configure in house bank?
the house bank steps are there. First, we have to create all my master GLs. After that, account symbols, account keys, posting
No,
rules, assign post.
no, no. That is not a house bank configuration. That is electronic bank statement configuration. What you are just saying. That is
No,
not a
sir,
house
both
bank
are the,
configuration.
sir, as I checked and as I remember, both the configurations are the maintained, but in the electronic bank statement, only the one fields are extra, which is like assign my assign my key to that particular bank. Apart from that, I have checked
So
as
are
I
you saying that, the APP will check your account symbol and the GL account assigned to account symbol will get updated, will get posted for APP?
No, sir. Are you talking about the particular GL for from where the GL account would what the bank GL
Shubham,
account would be detailed?
Shubham, I think I've asked you a very simple question. I am asking you if you run
Mhm.
the F110, right?
Yes, sir.
You just said
Yes, sir.
that procure to pay, right?
Yes, sir.
I am asking you that when you run the F110 for making any payment for vendor invoice,
Hmm.
the accounting entry gets posted automatically by EPP,
Yes, sir.
right? What is
Yes,
that
sir.
accounting entry? Vendor account debit to.
Vendor account debit to bank.
Okay. You said that it could be the outgoing payment account or whatever is that. PP clearing
Yes.
account, outgoing payment account, whatever. I'm
Mhm.
asking
Yes, sir.
you from where system will find that automatic, sorry, that outgoing payment account in order to post that document, payment document.
Sir, before that, sir, in the weather master, we have to maintain that particular bank master data, bank master data. And in the bank master data, we have assigned, like suppose if I'm talking about particular A vendor. So in A vendor, we have to definitely maintain a house bank, like account ID, like bank name and all. Suppose if there is HDFC Bank, so in that particular configuration, I have to maintain my GLs. So on that particular time, if
So,
suppose I am
sorry,
selecting my.
Shubham, are you saying that in the vendor master data, you update the house bank details?
No, sir. Bank account ID and uh, banking names we can maintain in the vendor master data. Apart from that, if I run F110 and if suppose in my company code like 4245 bank, so also I have a chance suppose I am doing the payment for that particular vendor from different bank accounts. So on that account ID would be shown when I click on the uh, payment tab. So we can do the payments.
So you maintain the vendor master data with the bank details. Whose bank details you maintain in the vendor master data?
The like account number, like bank name,
Who's
like
who's 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 who provides you with those details?
sir, the user will provide all the details, whatever the banking we are maintaining in our organization. So
No.
on that
So
particular.
okay, and what is the house bank? What do you mean by house bank in SAP?
Sir, in house bank, like there are two types of house bank. First is the manually, and second would be the electronically. In the manually, we have done the configurations like account type, account ID, and posting rules. And according to posting rules, we have to assign my GLs. It depends if I am maintaining the chronological order. So we have to maintain like masking functionality or all also there. But yeah, on that particular time, if I am doing the masking, so definitely the series would be the same. Like if suppose my main bank account would be the zero, so the outgoing would be one and
Is it
incoming
a
would be two.
mandatory? Is it a mandatory to have all these steps what you just mentioned? Uh,
Yes.
and I still assume that you are mentioning the electronic bank statement configuration, account symbol, posting rules, assigning the accounts to account symbol, and the posting rule and all this, right? This is what you are referring,
Mhm.
is it?
Yes, sir.
So let us say that if I have the two house banks, is it a mandatory to have this configuration for both the house banks?
Yes, sir. Definitely, we'll have to maintain for both the accounts detail like account ID, like account number. Because if banks is would be different, so all the criteria would be different. And if depends uh, if I would be the same my GL account number, so the GL account would be the same. But yeah, definitely the details would be the different.
Okay. Have you worked on this electronic bank statement configuration, or you
No,
just
sir, I
have
just
some theoretical understanding?
no, I just do on my practicing time. But yeah, in the real time, I have done manual bank reconciliation from FA67.
Okay. Do you know what is the external transaction types?
External transaction type?
Yeah.
No, sir.
Okay. You still did not answer my question earlier that from where this outgoing payment account gets picked up and posted, but that's fine. Uh, okay. Uh, okay. You have you worked on any taxation or anything?
Yes, sir. I do the some support tickets related to GST.
Okay. You have not created any tax procedure or anything like that, is it?
Yes, sir. Do the configuration like
Which
for the
configuration?
config for the GST configuration, we have to maintain the condition type, the condition type and access sequence from the OB40, FTXP, and OBBX. Uh, these are the T codes we have to maintain for that configuration for GST. And the GST is like SGST, CGST, IGST. There are different tax rates in India. So according to that, we have to mention.
You have mentioned here in your CV that you have a hands-on experience on the new GL and document splitting. Can
Yes,
you
sir.
explain that to me? What is this new GL and what is the document splitting?
It's the new GL. It comes in the document splitting, and the document splitting is used for if I want my financial like profit center wise or segment wise. So on that particular time, we have to activate the document splitting. There are three types of splittings are there: active splitting, passive splitting, and zero balance clearing.
What is the difference between these two?
Sir,
Active,
if
passive, and zero.
yeah, sir, if I'm talking about the active splitting, so suppose I posted one entry like expenses account A with one cost center and expenses account B with different cost center to my vendor. So if I activated my active splitting, so when I check my document on entry view or general ledger view, so entry would be differentiate with the different cost center. Like in my entry view, I can see expenses account debit to vendor with a different cost center, and expenses account debit B to vendor with different cost center. And the passive splitting is like when I post the entry like expenses account debit to vendor with 1,000 amount. But when I see in my general ledger view, the entry would be shown like expenses account debit to vendor 500 amount, expense account debit to vendor 500 amount. So definitely the passive would be the splitting the amount, what are the total amount, and active is if I activated my active splitting, derive divide like a cost center wise. So these are the
On what
difference.
on what basis it divides this? Whether it has to divide with 50-50 or
Cost center.
whatever it is that, like,
No,
does
no.
it
So
does
if
it divide on the basis of the cost center?
yes, sir, definitely the divide with the cost center, and we can see that report with the profit center wise because in the cost center we have to maintain the profit center. So that's the use of the document splitting. If we
Where do
want a
you where do
financial,
you where do you where do you maintain this configuration?
sir, when I created my cost center from KS01, so it is the mandatory field in the cost center. I have to assign the profit center.
No,
Without
I am
profit center,
asking you. No, I am asking you this document splitting active document splitting. Where do
okay,
you
okay. So
configure that?
sir, this is the configuration from SPRO. We have to go on SPRO, financial accounting, general ledger, business transaction, and that's it. There are the all the functionality of documents in the business transaction.
What are all the things that you need for a document splitting in
Sorry, sir.
order to configure that? What are all the
What
things
are
that you need to configure? What are all things Other important things you need to configure in the document splitting.
Uh,
Have you heard of the splitting method?
Splitting method. Little bit heard about, but not reminding. But yeah, when I see um, the click on the business transaction, so it is the category of there, like expenses category, income, and are the category of there. On that particular basis, we have to assign my GL in the document splitting. And yes, sir, because many of the time,
And
like
what is a passive document splitting?
basically, as splitting is told you na sir. If I suppose I posted the one entry like expenses account debit to vendor with 2,000 amount, but and I already posted my entry, but when I open my document in the general ledger view, so it would be shown like the entry would be uh, the entry would be differentiate with my amount. Like it's posted with 2,000, but the entry would be shown like 1,000 expense account debit to vendor 1,000, and same for the same amount.
What is the passive here?
The passive GL, I give the example.
Sorry.
Passive GL, are you talking about?
So you said that there are three types of document splitting, right? Active, passive, and zero balancing. I'm
Yes, sir.
asking you that what is the passive active splitting? Yeah.
Pa-
What is the passive document splitting?
I told you now, passive. Just recently, I give the example of passive splitting, and before that, the cost center wise, my document would be splitted. It is
So
a
you are
active
saying
splitting.
that so you are saying that when you are doing the passive splitting, it doesn't split as
Activated.
per the cost center.
So need to check that. Not sure about that. But yeah, I'm much confident of that. The amount would be definitely differentiated. Differentiated in the
And
sense,
what is the zero balancing?
the zero balance clearing. Not remembering the example, but yeah, is my understanding. If I have already posted any entry and the amounting is not matching, like there is some difference on that particular time, zero balance account would be activated, and the zero balance clearing account would be activated, and the definition amount would be cleared. But not remember the example, sir.
Can I have the new GL accounting without a document splitting?
No idea, sir. But I don't think so. If you are talking about the new GL, so on that particular time, the document splitting will come in the picture.
No, I'm saying that can I have the new GL accounting, but I don't want a document splitting. Is it possible?
Yes, sir. If you don't want to uh, document splitting, don't want in your company, but in the HANA, sir, it is mandatory. The document splitting. But if you don't want, so
Okay, what have you worked on in the asset accounting?
sir, assets accounting, I do just like year-end activity like assets year, open and close, and GL balances carry forwarded after the assets year close, and aware of disposal of assets. I actually in my recently one of the incident coming up like 200 are the assets are not in used, and they want to all the 200 assets dispose of. So on that particular time, I used ABAV and C code for that particular disposal of assets, and the accounting entry would be like uh, a depreciation account, accumulated depreciation account debit, and a profit on sale of assets account debit to fixed assets. So with that C code, all the my assets would
Have you
are
worked
not
on
used.
any kind of a delta depreciation area or anything like that?
No, sir. No, no, sir. Not aware of the delta depreciation,
If you Mhm.
but aware of the new functionality of a technical clearing account.
So what it does, technical clearing account?
The technical
Is
clear,
it the technical clearing account only available in S4 HANA?
uh,
or it is
Sir,
in
these
ECC version also?
uh, these I
Okay,
need to
no
check,
issues.
but
No problem. No issues. Okay, you talk here in your just last 2 minutes. Shubham, I know that you are late. Um,
no, no, it's okay.
you mentioned here something about the BDC, BAPI, and Z reports, something like that, right?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
which BAPI you have worked on?
Sir, in my company, I'm making one report that periodic balances, like reason code updations. On that, actually, the user want what are my the items are overdue, but and I need to check on the reason code basis when I run my report like ABL 3N for my sorry ABL 1N for my vendor. So on that particular time, the reason code would be updated, and uh, with the reason code filter, I can check what are my overdues item and need to pay that. So on that particular time, sir, we have prepared a Z report and used for the tables like for vendor master LF A1, LF B1, and also the one BAPI are used like BAPI underscore account underscore get underscore open items. So when I worked on the Z reports on that particular time, sir, we have used for BAPIs.
Have you worked on anything like a bank communication management or something?
No, sir, not get a chance. Bank
So
communication.
once you do the F110 payment, right? How does the data flow
Mhm.
to bank?
Sir, where would be a criteria for two functionality are there? First would be IDOC and second would be a DME.
Which functionality you
So,
have worked on?
sir, DME I have worked on, and also the uh, MT940 I have worked on.
No,
So the
sorry.
DME is like
Again,
a
again you are no. Again you are confusing. Okay. So MT940 is what statement? Bank statement that you are saying?
No, no, MT940 is not like a bank statement. I am talking about when you are talking about Shubham, I have run already my FN10. So the how the
Right,
in
right.
actual scenario vendor receive the payment. It is when I run the FN10, it is only the SAP functionality, but not in credit in the customer. So on that particular time, there is like a API functionality. There is a middleware system and the T
Which
codes is
middleware
like
you have worked on?
A.
Which
Uh,
which middleware
sir,
you have worked on?
uh, so middleware, sir, DME I
So what
have
do you do?
used.
You generate a DME, and how does this DME goes to bank? How does this file go to bank?
So the bank given that particular format, and on that format we have to also
But if the
maintain
bank
our
has given you
criteria.
the format, then what? If the bank has given you the format, then what you configured in DME?
Sir, as per the bank's format, we have created the my DME, and
Okay,
when
and
I
how does
run
the
the
data
F1.
and how does the
Yes.
data go to bank?
Yes, sir. Telling to you with the API functionality when I run for F110, so the in the backend one file would be generated. Will go on the above side in the go to functionality. There is the option of the DME and the payment method is already set there. So basically, the bank server system and our SAP server system would be connected to each other. So when I shoot my payment automatically with that particular file in the XML format or FTXP in FXP or something different format, so automatically the file would be goes to my bank, and on that statement basis, the bank clear all the payments.
And how do you get communicated by bank that whatever the payments you have requested bank to make, that the bank has already made those payments? How do you get that confirmation?
Sir, after
Like
the month
what
end,
are the steps like? let's say that you said that you sent a bank, you sent a file to the bank, right?
Yes,
How,
yes,
how,
sir.
how, how do you know that whether the bank has received the file or bank has accepted the file or bank has rejected the file or there is some issue in the file? How do you know that?
Sir, not uh, seen like these cases because I
But
just
bank
run
has to
the
see, the bank has to,
yes.
if bank is receiving data from you, right? In
Yes, sir.
turn, you need some acknowledgement, right? You need some
Correct,
confirmation. You
correct, sir.
cannot
Correct.
assume that the data that you
Yes,
send
yes,
to the bank is all good, right?
yes, yes. Correct, sir. There would be a mismatching also there.
Okay. So do you, so okay, you have a only in the manual bank statements, right? Okay. Uh
Yes.
okay, okay, fine, Shubham. I'm good.
Thank you so much for your precious time, sir. But sir, please give me a one answer of that particular question you have asked me. Might be I have seen,
Which
but
one?
not remember this time. The F110 and from which area the account would be hitted and the posted the entry in the bank account.
It is just the it is just the F110 configuration FBZP. In FBZP, you do the
FGZP.
configuration
Mm-hmm.
that all company codes, paying
Payment.
company
Yes, there are
codes,
six steps.
payment
Yes, sir.
method, right? At
Yes,
there,
sir.
there is
There
a
are six
something
steps.
called as a bank determination.
Bank determination, but
In the
on that,
bank determination, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, in the bank determination, we have to just maintain the ranking order sign also.
No, you have to maintain the GL account there. Otherwise, your GL account will not
Okay,
get picked up
okay.
because
Yes, sir. Yes, yes.
I may have a different
Mhm.
outgoing clearing accounts also based on my payment methods because
Okay,
you
okay.
cannot directly hit to the main bank account because let's
Mhm.
assume
Definitely. Yes, sir.
I have two bank accounts, okay,
Mhm.
with the
Mhm.
two different banks. One I
Yes,
use
sir.
for the domestic payment, one I use for the foreign
Mhm.
payments.
Yes,
How
sir.
do the system will get to know that which bank account to hit? I use a different payment method. One is for the domestic, one is for the foreign.
Mhm.
When I do the
Okay.
FBGP configuration, right?
Mhm.
Because what you mentioned is that
Mhm.
in a house bank
Mhm.
configuration we may maintain all the account. No, it's only the
Mhm.
main bank
Okay.
account we maintain, which actually goes to the balance sheet as the bank balance. That account only we maintain in a house bank. There is nothing else we maintain in a house bank. That is a main bank
But
account, which
okay,
usually
okay,
ends with a zero. Usually,
okay,
okay. The
okay,
one
okay.
outgoing or the incoming, whatever it is there, we never maintain that in a house bank. For outgoing, we always maintain that in a BGP as per my
Mhm.
ranking order, as
Yes,
per
sir.
my payment methods.
Okay, okay, okay.
Because the payment method is the most important thing there.
Yes, sir.
Because
Yes,
you
sir.
cannot run F110 without a payment method. You
Correct,
cannot,
sir. Definitely. We have to choose that
right?
like what
So
I
that
bank
is
transfer
where
facility
from
and all.
where this account gets picked up and get posted. Now,
Okay,
usually
okay.
what happens is that whenever you make a payment, it goes to
Yes.
vendor account debit to let's say outgoing payment account or outgoing
Mhm.
clearing account, whatever you want to call it. Then the
Yes, sir.
data goes to bank. Then bank actually transfer the money to vendor.
Yes,
Let
sir.
us assume that
Correct.
bank transfers money today on Wednesday. Tomorrow
Mm-hmm.
morning, bank is supposed to send me the bank statement. In that bank
Okay.
statement, I should see this entry that the bank has actually cleared that, I mean, actually
The
paid to
family.
that vendor. Unless and
Mhm.
until
Yes.
I see that entry in the my bank statement, I do not post to my main bank account.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
Why? Why do you need that? Do you know?
Because, sir, if I am not clearing, the account will be shown in the open item outgoing balances. Hello.
So when I receive the statement, that time this
Yes, sir.
outgoing clearing account, which I
Mhm.
also maintain in your EBS setup of account symbol, assigning the GL
Yes.
account and all that what
Yes.
you were
Yes.
just telling me.
Yes.
It is been
Yes, sir.
maintained
Yes, sir.
there. So when I receive that
Mhm.
entry in statement, I could see that
Yes,
okay,
sir.
this is the amount, this is a reference of my vendor invoice or something, and it goes and it
Mhm.
makes the automatic posting of outgoing clearing account debit to main bank account. That is what exactly the process. That is how it
Got it.
should
Got
run
it, sir.
ideally.
Okay. 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 Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.